Los Doyers, yep, they get their rings, and Major League Baseball is back, baby.
We have 4 survivors in the final 4. Both brackets, women's and men's, are set.
And every ticket has been punched in the FIFA World Cup this June. Let's talk about it.
A record broken in the NWSL and a plethora of goals. We got your highlights and we've got full wrap.
The match cards from Mania are nearly filled out. Who is in? I don't know. It's complete madness. Plus, the doctor is in the house. We'll have an intimate conversation with Dr. Lawanda Hill. All this and more on They Be Talkin.
They be talking, 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 talking.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. This is They Be Talkin. I'm your host, Brooke, aka Shorty Bang Bang. And with me, as always, I got my homie, my masked amigo, Dizzy. What's going on, Dizzy?
How you doing, Shorty Bang Bang? We got a lot of things to talk about. I'm super hyped. I'm super excited. It's show number 10.
Yes.
We have 10 shows in the books with this one, and it is just absolutely insane. I didn't think we were going to make it this far. We've got an NWSL recap. We've got WWE news. We've got shockers in the World Cup. My Lady Bruins are in the Final 4. Yes. Where are your Trojans? They're at home. My
Don't
Lady
worry about
Bruins
it.
are in the
We're getting
Final
ready.
4.
Look. Don't start the 10th episode like this, Dizzy. You look
I'm
too
looking
nice.
fly.
You're looking
I'm
fly
looking
and
fly.
dapper. Hats off to you, and hats off to your UCLA Lady Bruins. We'll get into that because, like you said, we have so much. It was a crazy week full of sports. I was literally stuck on a couch like a big old couch potato, watching all the games, the buzzer beaters, trying to catch up on baseball, your WWE, and then, like, out of nowhere, Tiger Woods flips his car again and got arrested again. Like, what a way. What's going on with him?
How many lives is this for Tiger now? They say cats have 9 lives, and this is one.
Tigers must have.
I lost count. But yeah, Tiger's okay. He was arrested on Friday, March 27th, but he rolled over his Land Rover. That's what it looked like at the scene.
Right. Look at that.
And then, on the scene, they said that his eyes were glassy and that he had bloodshot eyes. That's his mugshot. That's what he looked like. Here's one thing that doesn't make sense. Why is he still driving? Doesn't he have money to pay for somebody to drive him? Like
that part. Why is he still driving? Why does he still have a license?
That's the other. How does he still have a license? How do people insure him?
Look, he even released a statement saying he's stepping away for a period of time just to seek treatment again to focus on his health. Woods, he also waived his appearance at an arraignment that's scheduled for April 23rd, with his attorney demanding a jury trial. So, Dizzy, it sounds like he was definitely impaired and he was under the influence of something.
And to top it off, he talked to a judge today, Wednesday, and he got permission to seek treatment outside the country. So he got his passport, and he's flying somewhere else to get treatment.
All right.
I don't know how that works. I don't really know how that works.
I don't know either. I don't know how Tiger
if you don't like your money, I'll take it. Like, just don't throw it away like this.
Or hey, I'll drive you. I will drive you, Tiger. Just pay me. Pay me wherever you want to go. Either way, I'm saying my prayers for him because I don't know if I can handle another Tiger Woods incident. Okay.
I mean, he's running out of lives. He's got to be running out of lives. Like,
don't say that. Don't say that. No, we're gonna wish Tiger well. No more mugshots, Tiger. Just say no. All right, let's move it along. All right, we got baseball opening week 1 in the MLB. It felt more like a Hollywood script. Okay, we are talking about the Dodgers. The Dodgers. Look, I even got my little Dodger medallion. Boop, 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 boop.
I see that.
You see my? You see? It's
Congrats.
actually a radio. It's actually a radio.
Is it really?
It is.
That's
It is.
impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank
That's
you.
impressive.
Thank you. I broke it out just for today. But check it out. The Dodgers, they kicked off their title defense with a win. The Dodgers, they didn't just show off their World Series rings in the second game of the series. They showed off their new identity. That's right. It's rings, hugs, and trumpets at Chavez Ravine, Dizzy. And no, let's not forget this. Check him out.
I mean,
Woo! Edwin Diaz. Oh. Hey.
that's just you can't get any more Hollywood production than that. That's just that's impressive.
It is.
And the party didn't just stay inside the stadium for the Dodgers. Like that was the other thing that.
Oh, we were all partying. Partying. It was a holiday. It was basically a holiday in LA.
Yeah.
Okay. The chemistry was crazy. That was the trumpeter Tatiana Tate. Shout out to her. She welcomed Edwin Diaz out on his coming out for the closing pitcher out the bullpen. What a welcome to LA moment. What a moment.
No, the Dodgers look like they're serious contenders for winning the third in a row. You saw them parading the 2 trophies. You saw them all get the rings. It was all a party. They swept the opening series. It's a good start. It's a good start. It's a really, really good start for those Dodgers.
It's a great, great, great start. But look, it's a long way to 162 games. But they've already set a pace that most teams can't even sprint to, let alone maintain. So after seeing week 1 dominant performance, is there any team in the NL that can actually push the Dodgers to game 7? Perhaps.
Maybe.
Dizzy.
Not likely. Maybe. I mean, you've got a very strong West. San Diego and San Francisco on paper look very strong. Arizona's not that strong, but on paper, the Cardinals, the Brewers, the Cubs, on paper, the Mets and the Phillies and the Braves, on paper. Granted,
all right,
those Dodgers on paper also look like something else. But
we look like some champions on and off the paper.
The
okay,
fans from the East Coast had something to celebrate too.
They did. That's right. The New York Yankees, as David Ortiz would say, the Yankees. Yep, they had a great start. The Yankees, they had a great start. They finished a sweep of the Giants up in San Francisco, and now mark their 3rd straight year. They've swept their opening series. Dizzy, this wasn't just winning. This was absolute dominance for the Bronx Bombers.
Again, that's why I was saying on paper, because the debut of ABS happened with the series. It's an interesting concept. We can get into that a little bit later down the road, but the Yankees, they're clicking. Their bats are huge. Their pitching is good. I don't see anybody really competing with them in the AL East.
It's going to be
between
rough.
all the stuff that happened with the hoopla and Netflix being the broadcaster for opening day,
right?
It was a worldwide phenomenon. It was watched by millions around the world. It's just great exposure for baseball. It's great for the game. I don't know how much we'll be hyping up the ABS thing down the line, but hey, congrats to the Yankees. They got a sweep over the Giants.
Yeah, congrats to the Yankees. Too bad for the Giants. I got some homies up north in the Frisco Bay area. I know they're bummed out, but look, I'm wishing the Yankees well this season. I wouldn't mind seeing a World Series rematch between them and my Dodgers, my beloved.
I do mind because I would love to see this team in the World Series. They're off to a wonderful start. They took the first 2 games of the series against the Astros. Mike Trout hit 2 home runs in the first 2 games that were the first 2 wins for the Angels. I am hyped. It's so exciting to see him healthy. He looks like the Mike Trout of old. I just hope he can stay healthy. I hope the Halos can continue this trend. I hope that they can continue to win. I would love to see an Angels Dodgers World Series. That's where my heart is.
You trying to start fights in the city? Oh my gosh, Angels and
I'm not trying to
Dodgers.
start no fights. I'm just speaking my heart. I'm just speaking the truth. You know.
No fights.
If it were up to me, I want a freeway series in the World Series.
I agree. That would be.
It's not always up to me.
No, it's not. It's up to your Angels, because my Dodgers gonna be there, okay? But it's up to your Angels and Mr. Mike Trout there. Congrats to him for coming back strong. I guess you can say it's Magic Mike season out there in Anaheim, way out there in Anaheim. So Angel fans,
the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
No, we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna just say, hey,
the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Moving on.
Why you gotta be a hater?
Because we got to keep the high intensity energy of baseball. Okay. There's so much more going on. Look, it was the rest of opening week. It's seen more debuts and some tough breaks. 2026 is officially kicked into gear. What happened with Dylan Cease, Dizzy? Dylan
Cease decided that he was going to dominate his first start for the Blue Jays, and he got a club record 12 strikeouts in his debut. His $210 million contract is paying off. He punched out 12 batters in just 5 innings of work. So he was limited on the pitch count, and he still got 12 Ks. How much more do you ask of this guy who decided that he's going to make the Blue Jays season? I see the Blue Jays probably making a run at the World Series themselves.
Yeah, it might be a rematch with them. I don't know, but yeah, Dylan, he earned that $210 million. I tell you that. And then I heard that it was all because he has a new changeup. So his changeup averaged 80 miles per hour, and then on Saturday that game, it was 84 miles per hour. So just a little bit of change.
You think 4 miles per hour doesn't make a difference? When you're driving, it doesn't. Yeah. But when you're 60 feet away from the mound and that's what you're throwing, it's 1 or 2 seconds. The difference. It's a little goes a long way. It changes stuff. But not everything was great because unfortunately for the Brewers, their first baseman Andrew Vaughn suffered a broken hamate fracture in the left hand.
Yikes.
And that happened as he was swinging the bat. The ball basically just hit him in the hand. He fractured it, and he's looking to be out for about 6 weeks, and they're looking to get surgery on it almost immediately. This is just a tough break for the Brewers, who were supposed to be big contenders in the National League Central.
Yeah, that's a brutal start for a guy looking to make a splash with a new club. But on the flip side, we have to talk about the kid in St. Louis, JJ Weatherholt, the Cardinals' first-round pick. He didn't just make the roster, the rookie. He made an entrance. Look at him celebrating. JJ.
What is he, 15? He looks very young.
He does. He looks like he's on a little league team, but he's not. He's a somewhat grown man getting Gatorade water poured on him. Why? Jizzy, why? What happened?
JJ's first major league at bat for the Cardinals was a home run. And then the very next day, which is why he's getting drenched, he got a walk-off single to win the game for the Cardinals. So you cannot ask for a better start for a career, especially for this youngster. Congratulations, JJ. This is just an amazing start to baseball. I love baseball. I love being out there eating hot dogs, drinking beer. I'm sure our guest likes to do the same thing.
Yes, and we're going to introduce our guest very, very soon. Right now, actually, Dizzy, our special guest today, she's not just another sports enthusiast, but she's also a licensed psychologist and expert on mental health and well-being, and of course, a good friend of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people all over the world, Dr. Lawanda Hill. Welcome to the show. Hey. Welcome,
Thank
Dr.
you for
Lawanda.
having me.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We want to talk a lot of sports with you. I know you're following March Madness. I've seen your social media.
Absolutely.
I've seen you very active, very vocal about it. Let's get into this. Let's talk March Madness.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, no further delay. Let's get into some March Madness craziness. All right. Let's start with the men's tournament. The road to Indy is officially paved after a wild Elite 8 weekend. We finally have our men's Final Four. Check it out. It's a mix of heavyweights and hungry programs looking to make history. Dizzy, Dr. Lawanda, this bracket, it didn't disappoint. Who we got, Dizzy? We got UConn and who?
We've got UConn. We've got. Oh wait, that's the women's.
Not yet.
Sorry.
Not yet. We don't get to them. They were balling.
Ladies go first.
Okay, let's get into the women real quick. All right. Because all the number one seeds made it.
All number one seeds.
South Carolina, Texas, UCLA, and UConn. This is a very, very stacked women's Final Four for the first time in since the 90s, I believe. 95, 96. It's the same Final Four teams in back-to-back years on the women's side. You don't often see this, but this is just, it goes to show how dominant these women's programs have been and these women's programs are. It's amazing what Dawn Staley has done with South Carolina, and now she gets a rematch with UConn in the semifinal, which was the final of a year ago. Dr. Lawanda, did you see this happening on the women's side?
I did. My bracket is perfect with this.
Oh.
My bracket is not completely perfect, but my bracket, where we are right now, this was my prediction of the Final Four with these four teams. So I knew that they had made history as of late, but I didn't know that it was historic. But I did anticipate and predict that they would repeat. So I was expecting this.
I love it. Dizzy, your bracket's intact too, right?
Well, my bracket was a little bumpy, but because these four made it to the Final Four,
you were crying last week, bruh. You was crying.
Like I didn't have some of the teams that made it to play these four playing against them, but I had these four in the Final Four, and I've got UCLA winning it all. Go, Lady Bruins.
Go,
This matchup right here is the one that we watch this weekend.
This is the matchup. This is the match. This is the rematch of last year's championship game. It was Paige's year. I wasn't mad at it. Izzy, who is with Paige, and ain't nobody told me nothing. Nobody told me to take this together. But this is her team now. And I still believe Raven is the slept-on, amazing point guard who's going to go back. Like she has not been to a Final Four in her career at South Carolina, and I think that much like Iowa 2 years ago, I think she wants revenge. So I'm pulling for South Carolina. I think South Carolina gonna pull it off.
I'm all for some revenge. I'm all for some blockbuster games.
Yeah,
I just love that they're all number one seeds.
I hope Dawn Staley, gets her girls ready, because I really had South Carolina playing UCLA in the final. So I'm team Lady Gamecocks as well.
You think? Yeah, I'm team Lady Gamecocks as well. I don't know about the Bruins.
Hey,
but South Carolina.
I don't know if the Bruins. Texas defense is on another level. I don't know if the Bruins gonna get past Texas. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you got a tough
No,
test.
no, but Texas has been dominating teams that have not been up to par.
Okay, well.
So I believe the Lady Bruins are up to
You
par.
think
I
UCLA
believe
is up to par?
I think it'll be a tough game. I believe it'll be a tough game for both teams. I really want to be in Phoenix this weekend to see this. Like, I really, 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 really want to go to Phoenix.
You and me both. You and me both.
Yeah,
I think
same.
I think it's gonna come down to experience and momentum. Texas got momentum. I don't know. It's kind of hard.
Who
Like
exercises?
who's
Who's gonna exercise? Like who's gonna be the unsung or the unexpected hero?
that part? And or who's gonna
Who's gonna
have the off night? Who is not going to step it up? I don't know. I hate to put money on any of this. I think I'm gonna save my money. But check it out. What's going on the men's side?
On the men's side, come on, there you go. Finally,
There you go.
You
Dr.
know, I'll
Lawanda,
take the week off because it's Easter and all this is happening, man.
What? Dr. Lawanda, did you see the UConn versus Duke game? Did you see at least the buzzer
You know what? I
beater?
didn't see it, but I saw the recap and I watched from all angles of that amazing match. And that's why you can never. This is why I love sports, because it always translates to psychology, which translates to life. You never give up. Keep going to the last second. So what UConn did in the last second, unexpected, unanticipated, it's just like don't get ready, stay ready. And UConn, the gentleman who shot the three, I forget his name, who got them there, was ready. And so I didn't watch it, but I will be at a watch party this Saturday for the Final Four for the men. So I'm excited to take a look.
I know that's right.
And how impressive is the UConn program that have both men and women?
Oh
in the
yeah, I
Final
know.
Four? You know, Michigan had a shot at the same thing, but Michigan didn't come through on the women's side. You know, this is quite impressive. All Duke had to do was hold on to the ball for
that's all.
8 seconds, I think. 7 seconds.
Listen, they had that pressure. They was ready. They came for them. They were ready.
They were ready. They were mentally sound.
You know,
ready to go.
And then that kid makes a shot that's like not a normal three. It was almost a half court shot, and he just drains it. And
that's why they say you got to shoot your shot. You never know.
That's why they say it's March Madness. You never know what the madness is gonna be, but it's gonna come through. And it was everybody was stunned. Even his mom. His mom was like, "What happened?"
No, and then if you see Grant Hill on the sideline, his reaction, he was doing the commentary on the game. He was speechless. Like he couldn't even get a word out. I was just like, "What?"
They were like,
"What?" Poor thing. You know he duped through and through. So he was just like, "What? What happened?"
Yeah, that was a hard loss. So where you guys stand between these four teams? Illinois versus UConn. I think UConn got it, although Illinois got some major good defense. Michigan versus Arizona.
I'm gonna put money on Illinois and Arizona.
Okay.
I think it could be a UConn Arizona matchup, even though Michigan is strong. But U of A seems to be playing at a different level from all these teams. They have to be the on paper favorite right now.
Right now, yeah. But I will say this.
But I would not be shocked if it's an all Big Ten final.
Dizzy, remember when we were talking about the Sweet 16? Whose jersey did I have on? You remember?
You were rocking some dude named Weber who failed to do anything in the NBA.
Well, that's okay.
And who called timeout when he didn't have timeouts.
Not failed to do anything in the NBA. Wow.
Okay, I wasn't expecting.
How many championships did he get?
Don't worry about it.
But failure based on how many times did Allen Iverson get? He was still great and amazing. You know, it's just.
I'm not gonna take.
I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about championships. I'm talking about.
All I'm saying is, if Michigan ends up winning, maybe I kind of, gave them a little good luck by wearing that. But Either way, it's gonna be some good games.
If Michigan wins it, kudos to them, because Arizona's coming in strong.
Yes, they are.
As far as the other side, the Illini have been playing so well that it wouldn't shock me if Dr. Lawanda is right.
Yeah.
But UConn has this weird luck streak going on, and what they did in the final seconds of that game is, if it's a close one, and Illinois is having to inbound the ball, I believe Lightning will strike again.
You think they could strike twice? Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see who wins the big dance this weekend. But let's get to know our friend Dr. Lawanda a little more. Dr. Lawanda, you're a psychologist. Tell us a bit more about your practice. How did you get into it? What drove you to it? Let's talk about it.
Good question. Thank you, friends, for having me. I love a space where I could be a psychologist and a sports enthusiast all at once. So thank y'all for creating the perfect platform for that. I'm a psychologist, licensed psychologist. I'm licensed in Texas. I'm licensed in California. So I see women there. My practice is dedicated to Black women's mental health, looking at the whole Black woman professionally, emotionally, relationally, sexually, physically, spiritually. And so I just love helping Black women thrive in all domains of their lives. When people ask me, how did I get into psychology? It's always an intriguing story. If you ask my aunt, she'll tell you this story that at 12, she says, I remember it a little bit vaguely, but I remember more of my 16th memory. But she said at 12, I was like, I'm going to be a psychologist. And she said she was a social worker. So I would go with her. She worked in the community. And so I would tell her what clients I could see, what clients I couldn't see. So I just think it's one of those things that was just divine and intuitive. And I think psychology chose me. And I just yielded to the call. And by 16, though, I will say I have a distinct memory of being like, I'm going to be a psychologist. And so that was my journey. So it chose me. It's one of those things where I don't have that story of like, I was trying to figure it out, or it's just one of those moments that you'd be like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to help people. When you figure out what the name is for what it is that you want to do, that's what it was. Now, my journey to becoming that in college and undergrad and grad school is all another thing. But that's the story. If you ask mine, she'll tell you that story. Over and over again.
I love it.
Dr. Hill, just so that we can clarify, because I get this mixed up all the time.
Okay.
What is the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
Okay, a psychiatrist is a medical doctor that prescribes medicine. So they are medical doctors who are specialized in pharmacology, which is medication prescriptions for psychology. And a psychologist is a therapist, it's a licensed psychologist who treats mental health conditions across the spectrum, whether it's mental illnesses or it's adjustment or it's your everyday challenges, but they do not prescribe medication. So those are the distinct differences. Psychiatrists prescribe, psychologists, they both see clients and do therapy. The distinction is that psychiatrists are medical doctors, so they prescribe. Psychologists are doctors of philosophy, and so they see therapy, consult, teach, assess, and do all the other things.
So Dizzy needs both, a psychologist.
Maybe you need both. Maybe you need psychiatry and psychology. We are great collaborators. We're amazing partners. We partner all the time. So
it's okay. We all need a little help, Dizzy. We all need a little help. Well, look. So Dr. Lawanda, how does your practice work with athletes, or how can it be applied to athletes? Have you worked with athletes before?
I have worked with athletes. I wouldn't say so. Sports psychology is a different specialty within psychology. So just like we just kind of talked about psychiatry as like the subspecialty within medical, the medical industry, within psychology, there's sports psychology, and that's a specific niche because it's really all about performance, how to enhance performance, how to get athletes to perform at their best. And so while I have worked with athletes, my scope with them was never about what was happening within the lines of the sport, but what was happening outside of the lines of the sport. And so, but I have often believed, and I do, which is why I'm such a sports enthusiast, is that what you learn, how you master yourself, your emotions, your challenges, it translates into the game of sports. And so I believe in the saying that wherever you go, there you are. So when it comes to working with athletes, wherever you go, there you are. It doesn't turn off because you are dribbling a ball, because you're playing soccer, because you're shooting, because you're, throwing a football or trying to catch it or trying to cover a receiver. So it's basically when they show up in their sport, everything that happens in between their ears is there as well. So how do I help them that is not impacting or it is enhancing what they're doing?
Absolutely.
Okay. You see a lot of clients, you're very busy, you're very active. How do you maintain yourself balanced after you consult and advise a client with their issues? Because, that's got to take a toll on you at one point.
Yeah.
It does. It takes a toll. So the way I maintain my mental health, this is my motto. You will see it on some of my more casual socials. I work hard, play harder. So I give all I have between the hours of operation, and then afterwards, I don't want to talk psychology. I don't want to think psychology. I don't want to do psychology. I want to do all the things that I love that are fun, like sports and craft cocktails and traveling and engaging with culture. So I think the key, and I tell this to everybody, the key is really a balance. You have to be able to turn it off. The metaphor that we always got in graduate school is that when you come to work or come to your practice, you put on this coat. And that's when you become Dr. Lawanda Hill. And that is when I'm locked in. And whatever people are facing in their challenges, I'm in. And then when I'm done, I'm taking that coat off and I'm going to hang it up and I'll put it back on the next day. And after that, it's really a shift. Like, how do I shift from being engulfed and immersed in people's pain and their problems and their challenges and their triumphs? And then how do I turn that back off and check back into my life? And checking into my life includes having a good, healthy algorithm on social that is little kids doing stuff, that sports, that fine ass athletes, all the things. Balance between turning it off.
I know that's right, Dr. Lawanda. And look, speaking of fun and the things you enjoy, you said you enjoy sports. How'd you find your love for sports? And did you ever play any sport?
You know what? I was thinking about this. My love for sports probably came through the athletes on the field. Sis.
That's right.
They was nice on and off the field. Okay. So
that'll do it.
So maybe that's where my love for sports was cultivated. But if I'm being honest, I can still remember watching Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan go toe to toe in basketball series finals, watching Serena when I was a kid, watching football early on with my dad. I mean, he was very much so into sports. So watching the game with him, he introduced me to something that I loved. And then I never played in high school. That's my only regret. I never played sports in high school, y'all. I was like your typical, yes, I was your traditional cheerleader and dancer. And then, the beta club, being a person who was trained intelligence. But I really wish I would have. I think when I got to college, I cultivated that love through the people who were on the field and on the court. But my intro came through my dad. But I think I missed my moment. So here's what I'm committed to doing. In my 40s, I am committed to becoming an athlete. I'm gonna relive it. I'm gonna take basketball courses. I'm gonna take tennis courses. I'm gonna take flag football. I am going to become the athlete that I wish that I could have been in my teenage years.
I love it. I love that. That's what it's about. Like, sports, people say it's a young person thing, and it is, but there's no reason why you can't pick up where you either left off or want to start over or start something new. So I applaud that. Anytime you want to hit the court, let me know.
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna need fundamentals. So if we can do it,
I used to coach 8-year-old boys, so I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Consider me your 8-year-old little girl. She needs the fundamental. I mean, I used to dribble a little bit when we was at home.
Okay.
He was a basketball player, so I used to be out there just this person that he practiced with. So I need the fundamentals, but I'm ready.
I got you. Well, look, even though you never
Dr.
really
Hill, I have to say one thing though.
Oh, go ahead, Dizzy.
because you said that you were doing cheerleading and you were doing dance.
Yeah, that's a sport.
That's a sport. I
That
mean,
is a sport.
it's not a traditional sport, but it's a sport.
Okay,
It is.
I'll take that. Okay, so I did do a sport. I mean,
Shout out to
honestly, traveling and cheering for those athletes within the sport had made me further fall in love with the game, and it made me wish that I was playing and not cheering. But you're right, it was a sport.
Because you're very active. You're doing jumps. You're building pyramids. You're
Bunch
like
of stuff.
jumping. You're screaming. You're dancing. You're doing your routines. I mean, it's not a traditional sport in the sense of team sports, but if you really got into the hardcore cheerleading competitions, that's some really hardcore,
Yeah,
athlete
I can't
stuff.
do it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on to that, Dizzy. I'm gonna hold on to that. So now if people be like, "Have you ever played the sport?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then if they ask me, I'm like, "Well, it wasn't a traditional sport, but it was a sport nonetheless."
It was a sport.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
And a team sport on top of that, because it's not like you cheer by yourself.
Correct.
No.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. So I did a sport.
Well, shout out to all the cheerleaders out there. But Dr. Lawanda, look, even though you didn't really play, well, you did play a sport. You did cheerleading, but you've also been an advocate for fitness and well-being. Can you tell us a little bit about your fitness journey and why it's important to you?
Yeah, you know what? It's so interesting. Like I just feel like everything always goes back
Look at you.
to childhood.
Look at
right?
you.
Like that's the nature of it. And so my earliest memory.
Yes.
We in there. Listen.
In there.
Warm up the leg day. We are in there and we are lifting and we building them quads and them traps and leaning out in the midsection. We doing all the things.
Yes.
All of the things.
Keep going. Keep it going.
This is probably like 5:30 in the morning. Like I go to the gym around 5 a.m. I do my workout, I then do cardio, and then I do the sauna. And so from 5 to 8, I am Lawanda. I'm nothing to nobody but myself. I give the best of me to me. And so I have been doing this since I was a kid, y'all. I kid you not. So when I'm the last of 10, and when I was a kid, maybe 4, I remember this is my earliest memory. My siblings were going to school, and when they would go to school, I'd be at home with my mom. I didn't do pre-care or anything. And I would lay towels on the floor, and I would get trophies that my brothers and sisters had in school, and then I would do the exercise in the morning exercise show. So my mom will tell you that it was an exercise show on every morning, and I would lay my towel out. I would go get my little. They would be my weights, and I would do exercise in the morning. So I've been doing exercise in the morning between like 5 and 7 since I was like 4.
Wow. It's always been a part of your journey.
That's been a part of the journey. So now it's just like, my mama called me like, I remember when you was 4 years old and the kids would go to school and you would just be doing your little exercises. And that was a little aerobic women, they were little white when they aerobic up and all that.
With the leotards,
Exactly. I've been doing that for a while since I was like 4 or 5.
Well, I applaud that. Keep that up. You're inspiring me to get back in it. Dizzy, you gonna
Dr.
join
Hill,
us for a gym?
I will join you in the gym anytime.
Let's get it.
I love getting on the bike. I love lifting weights. It's just a matter of keeping it consistent. Right. That's sometimes not the easiest thing to do. But,
and it's great for your mental. It's great for mental health.
Every time I work out, I end up, or at least when I work out in the morning, I end up having a very good day. So keep that going.
That's the tone.
But speaking of working out, there was a lot of news about your boy Jalen not playing ball with his team and not being a coachable quarterback. And, as an Eagles fan, how hard is it for you to hear news like that, to hear, negativity about your Eagles?
It's really not hard at all, honestly, because this is what's expected when you dominate, when you're a champion, and when you are hated on. I think that there's a lot of noise that happens outside of Lincoln Field. And I think this is another example of that. I think that for whatever reason, yes, I am a diehard Eagle fan. These are my boys.
That's right.
I love
Represent.
I just went to see at Fanatics in their inaugural flag football game because that's coming to the Olympics. But it's not hard. I just think that people like to create stories about the Eagles. Everybody will tell you that Jalen is the most coachable. He wants to win. And he's the most adaptable. So when I hear these stories that's atypical to that, I'm just like, they need something. They need something. They need something.
Haters gonna hate, Dizzy. Haters are gonna hate.
Okay, a little follow up to this Eagles fan thing.
Okay.
Is it hard as an Eagle fan to stay in a relationship because they're so hated?
Dizzy.
You know what? It's not Dizzy. It's really not at all because they're only hated by obvious haters, which maybe you. They're only hated by obvious haters, but like, they're not like just pulling up and deciding every day they're gonna hate the Eagles.
Dizzy.
I don't hate the Eagles.
Stop hating.
I just like them. Hate is a strong word. I just like them.
I love Eagles fans. They are dedicated. Okay. And yeah, brotherly love. That's what it's about.
There we go.
I love Philly cheese sandwiches.
And they're champs. Oh gosh. Well,
there
yeah,
you go.
I like
champ. And here's the thing. I'll say this: when you're a champ, it comes with the territory. So I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
But they're not champs right now.
Listen,
they have been.
We have a pattern. We have a pattern where we win, take a year off, win, take a year off. We just took a year off, so you know what happens this year.
You said win, take a year off. Win, take a year off.
We're gonna win again.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Dizzy, stop hating, okay?
I am just putting it out there. I am just getting this, I'm trying to help Dr. Lawanda. She deserves to be happy. She could be happier not being an Eagles fan.
Where would I be happy? Like, what team would I even consider that's worth? Like, I only align myself with winners. So what other team would be worth me aligning with?
Well,
I don't know, but the Vikings are trying to make a case for it. They,
who's even going to be the quarterback? They can't even get that quarterback together.
Let's talk about that because the quarterbacks are on the move. What's going on here?
Kyler Murray moving from the Cardinals to the Vikings. Is this a good move for him, Doc? What do you think?
I'm wondering about JJ. I'm wondering about who already at the Vikings. Like, what does that say about him? Like, are they really? They use somebody that's going to compete to make you compete for your spot. So, do they believe in you? Is my question.
I think the belief's already out the door on JJ McCarron. Like, I don't think that the franchise is buying into him because you pick up Kyler Murray. You're not picking him up as a backup. You're picking him up as a potential starter.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So Kyler coming in for the number one spot.
As he should. As he should.
I don't know.
Doc, how could like moves like this in a professional setting, whether you're an athlete or coach, how does that mess with someone's mentality? Like, you have a home, you start there, especially with football and players getting traded. How does one balance that role of and mindset of, okay, well, I'm not playing for them, I'm playing for them now, or even just picking up and moving your family? Like, that's kind of crazy.
I think it's tough. I think it's tough, but I think it's why I love the game because I think what it does is it teaches you life skills. You have to be willing to adapt. Sometimes life is predictable. Sometimes life is unpredictable. Sometimes you can plan a change. Sometimes changes come suddenly. Sometimes you can anticipate a change. Sometimes it takes you by storm. And I think that sports is the key master class in you need to adapt. You have to adapt. You have to shift. You have to give yourself the space. And I don't think it's easy by far. But I do think it's difficult. I think it's challenging. I think it takes them a little bit more. I think it takes some of them more of an adjustment period than others. Right. So if they're ready to go, like Tua leaving Miami or Murray going to the Cardinals, like Tua understood his time was up. So he probably wants a fresh start with the Falcons. Now, will the Falcons as a franchise and as a city and as a fan base buy into him is a different question. But I do think that transitions can give people moments to start over. I do think for others, it's just like, dang, I wasn't expecting that. We lost Jalen Phillips, and he came from Miami to the Eagles, and now he's going to the Texans. And so I think it's difficult to have to hop around, but I do think it helps you. I think that they become more flexible. I think it's a good life skill.
Or even what about who was that kid? Dizzy Jaden Johnson? Is that his name?
Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson played for how many teams? 14
teams in like 16 seasons.
That's rough. Now that's rough. Because I'm just like, bruh, at this point, you just kind of like filling in. Like you just like kind of checks. Maybe you practice teams.
But he's employed, but he continues to be employed. That's like big.
He must be single too, because my goodness, all that moving around.
I'm not going. I'm gonna hold it down in this last state from state number 2. I say that about Sierra all the time. I said one thing about Sierra, baby, she gonna pick up whatever Russell. She gonna have a house and some jerseys on them babies.
And the babies right into with her. Yep. I don't know if I can handle that type of shift, but perhaps those $1 million contracts that helps a little bit too with the shifts. I think so.
What about poor old Justin Fields? He was with the Bears, then he was with the Jets, and now he's with the Chiefs.
I think that people are saying that Justin's a number 2. I think that he could go and learn under Patrick Mahomes. I think that Justin needs to develop his career. They tried to bring him out and make him a QB1, and he just couldn't meet the moment. And so I think that him going to the Chiefs is probably a better move for him. He can sit, he can learn, he can develop. You ain't starting with Patrick Mahomes, but I do think that he can learn. So I think it's a good move for him, even though he may not like that.
I think he's going to be QB1 because I don't think Mahomes will be healthy to start the season. But
you don't think so?
No.
Why?
I don't think so. He's starting to come along, but his progress isn't all that.
What's his injury?
So, he had a broken knee and some ligament damage.
Wow.
Serious one.
Wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. What about good old Gino?
I mean, why not? I mean, it's the Jets. I mean, it's like, I mean, he went from the Raiders to the Jets. The Raiders trying to get the number 1 pick, boy from Indiana. So he may try to the franchise around. But Gino, you know what? I don't have enough investment in Gino to have a fair assessment of
opinion. Yeah, same.
But you're going. But I will say this: you're going to the Jets, and the Jets are like, I mean, like, why? Why bother?
Womp womp. But he's still employed. Good for him. Good for him.
He got some income. He got a check coming in.
Income. He's gonna be cool the whole season. Yeah. This football season is gonna be very interesting. I'm a Raider fan, so
how you feeling about
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Dr. Lawanda, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. You have been amazing. Nothing but fun. Please tell the people where they can connect with you after this show, beyond this show. Let them know.
Connect with me on socials at Dr. Lawanda Hill, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and then you can connect on my website, drlawandahill.com, and see if you want to connect with me in a professional capacity. I'm always welcoming new sports fans, sports enthusiasts, and women who are trying to improve their lives in a good way. So connect with me at Dr. Lawanda Hill.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank
Hill,
you so much.
Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your opinions with us. It was a lot of fun. It was quite the banter. I promise next time you come on the show, I will be nicer.
You were nice, Dizzy. You were nice. Minus your Eagles hateration, but we expect that.
Yeah, it comes with the mask. The hate comes with the mask. But we love you, Dizzy. We love you, and we love you, Dr. Lawanda Hill. Thank you. Please come back.
I love y'all too. Y'all have a good one, and I'm so excited. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the show.
Absolutely.
No, thank you for being on the show, Doc.
All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, Woo! Dr. Hill, that was fun. That was fun.
That was fun. I love Dr. Lawanda. She's a good one right there. She is a good one. Dizzy. We have so much more to talk about.
Yes, we
do. What
do.
are we gonna do here? We're gonna go to soccer.
Know.
I think we have to go to soccer.
We got to transition into World Cup news here.
Yes.
You know, it's been a weird qualifying ride. It's been, you know, it's been crazy. We had 42 qualified teams to start the week, and then we had playoffs happening, and then in Europe we had 8 teams playing for 4 spots, and we will start with Czechia and Denmark. Czechia lasted Denmark. What's that?
Where is Czechia?
Czechia is also known as the Czech Republic.
Boom. Continue.
Czechia outlasted Denmark in penalty kicks and in a winner-take-all match in Prague. Pavel Sulch scored off the corner to take a 1-0 lead, and then minutes later, Joachim Andersen tied it up for Denmark. Then in overtime, Czechia scored, and it also got countered by a Denmark score. I'm not saying the names because I cannot pronounce them.
You're not saying that. Okay, all right.
The Czechs converted 3 of their 4 penalty kicks, while the Danes only managed to score 1. Czechia will join Group A with Mexico, South Africa, and South Korea. That is, you know,
that's
it for Denmark, and Czechia is officially in the World Cup. And
Czechia.
You know, it was quite the ride. It was quite the game, exciting, multiple goals.
But it ended in a tie. So
but they went to penalty kicks, and penalty kicks was when it got untied.
Okay, well then let's talk about Kosovo versus Turkey. Okay, Turkey defeated Kosovo 1-0, clinching a berth in Group D alongside the U.S. men's national team, Paraguay, and Australia. Karim Artukulo, I think I said his name right, gave Turkey the lead early. He gave Turkey the lead early in the second half, and that was all the visitors needed in Pristina. That's Pristina, Kosovo, as they advanced to the World Cup for the first time since 2002. Congrats to them. All right, moving on to Sweden and Poland. In Solna, Sweden, the Swedish national team qualified for the World Cup with a 3-2 win over Poland in Tuesday's UEFA World Cup qualifying playoff final. Woo! The game was tied at 2 and looked to go extra time until Victor Gyökeres, I don't think that's how you say that, but Victor had the final say as the Sweden star put his team into the World Cup with an 88th minute winner. Talk about clutch. Sweden joins Group F with the Netherlands, Japan, and Tunisia. Congrats to them.
Zenica was the last stop for Italy on their quest to qualify for the 2026 Cup. After the Azzurri struck first in the 15th minute on a goal by Alessandro Bastoni, a red card put Italy down 1 man for most of the game, for most of the second half, for the whole second half and the end of the first half. Bosnia tied it up in the 79th minute with a goal from Haris Tavakovic. And then in penalty kicks, Bosnia made all their kicks while Italy missed 2, which allowed Bosnia to claim their spot in Group B, and Italy will miss their 3rd consecutive cup. That's a whole generation of players from Italy that will not play in a World Cup.
Man,
because this is sad. Every 4 years, you know,
That's sad.
It is insane. It is crazy. It is unbelievable. Bosnia, congratulations. You played a hell of a game and you qualified for the cup.
Yeah, well, sorry, Italy. But moving on to the 47th ticket to this summer's World Cup. It was contested in Guadalajara, Mexico, And we saw Congo DR face off with Jamaica. The first 90 minutes finished 0-0, but in extra time, Congo's Axel Twanzebe, he scored the game winner in the 100th minute of play and officially joined Group K. All right, so shout out to Congo. Then we got an interesting one that Dizzy called me late last night to tune into. Iraq versus Bolivia. It was took place in Monterrey, Mexico. And let's see, Ali Ibrahim Al-Hamadi, he opened up the scoring in the 10th minute, but the 18-year-old Moses Paniagua, that's right, he tied it up in the 38th. But the game winner for Iraq, it came in the 53rd as Ayman Hussein put his foot on a perfect cross, giving them the 48th and final ticket to this summer's tournament, joining Group I. Iraq won 2-1. Woo! Those are some names there, Dizzy. So, World Cup is set?
The World Cup is set. All the tickets have been punched. The U.S. will start play in L.A. against Paraguay. Nice. Mexico will start the World Cup against South Africa in the very first game. It'll be a wonderful spectacle. 48 teams for the very first time. 3 nations hosting for the very first time. Mexico, the U.S., and Canada. This summer is going to be crazy. We got a lot of football. We
Sounds
got a
like
lot of
spectacle
and
for
then,
sure.
And then I promised we were going to talk about the NWSL, so let's get into it.
Let's do it. So we're going to start at BMO Stadium in Los Angeles as Angel City FC maintained a perfect start to the season with their 3rd straight win, despite a rocky start against their fellows at the top of the table, the Houston Dash. Just 10 minutes into the match, the Dash got on the board with Maggie Graham's first goal of the year. The second half was all Angel City. And just 2 minutes into the second half, Miss Savendis, I'm going to mess her name up. I'm sorry. What's her name?
Svendis Jonsdottir.
Her. Go, girl. She continued her dominance with an equalizing goal, followed 2 minutes later by a goal from Riley Tiernan, who put home her first goal of the year to give Angel City the lead and the win. Congrats to Angel City.
We move on to Providence Park, that was the host of between Portland Thorns and the KC Current. After dropping their first game of the season last Wednesday, the Thorns came back firing with a 2-0 win over KC. Olivia Moultrie became the youngest player in NWSL history to score 20 regular season goals when she converted a second-half penalty kick. And minutes later, Raylan Turner doubled the lead for the victory at home for Portland.
Woo, okay, go Portland. Now let's move to the South. No, not that South, but South in California. San Diego at Snapdragon Stadium. San Diego Waves hosted the Chicago Stars. Rookie Leah Godfrey scored her second career goal in as many games to give the Wave the lead early in the second half, followed by teenager Melanie Barcenas, who doubled the lead for good measure in the 73rd minute for her second goal this week and the league's 4,000th regular season goal ever. It also happened to be voted the NWSL Canon USA Goal of the Week, as
Look at that shot
on the NWSL Instagram. Shout out to Mel B. Go ahead, girl. That's a skilled young woman right there.
Look at that girl.
Ooh, she got a leg. Oh, footwork. Whoop.
Boom.
I love it.
That girl's only 18.
That's crazy.
That girl's only 18.
She would run absolute circles around me. Well, shout out to San Diego. And then what happened here? We got a record crowd. We
have a record crowd. For the second time in under a year, the NWSL set a professional women's sporting event attendance record in the United States. This was in Denver, where they had 63,004 people attending the game between the Denver Summit and the Washington Spirit.
Wow.
this broken NWSL U.S. Professional Women's Sports League record that was previously set by Bay FC last season in Oracle Park in San Francisco, which drew over 40,000 fans. I think 63,000 blew that out of the water. Most impressive. But the most endearing moment happened post-game with Carson Pickett, and you just have to see this. It is absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
Carson Pickett is a player who is missing part of her arm.
Yes.
And then she meets this young fan who was also missing part of her arm, and then they post their picture together.
Aww. Oh.
That was awesome.
That I love. Look at that little girl stoked. Oh, that's such a beautiful moment.
That's a beautiful sports moment. That's just a beautiful moment in general. Kudos to Carson Pickett for taking the time to meet with fans and do photo ops and videos, especially this young lady. It's just one of those things that absolutely is endearing, is great, it's touching,
It's what sports is about.
Yeah. And real quick before we wrap up here,
where you want to move to? I think
we're moving on to what happened real quick in WWE.
Okay. Apparently a lot went down.
And we're gonna go jump straight into the tag team match between the Vision and the Usos. Logan Paul went to go grab the brass ducks. LA Knight, who was doing commentary ringside, stops it. Since it was a street fight, there's no disqualification. ISO Speed, who happened to be ringside, gets dragged into ringside. Logan Paul gets thrown to the side. The brass ducks that he picked up from his mom were on the floor, and ISO picks it up. LA Knight comes in from behind and gets accidentally knocked out by ISO Speed. ISO Speed face tells the whole story.
Yeah, with the brass knuckles.
He messed up. He knows he messed up. And because he did mess up, it ended up costing the Usos the tag team titles. The Vision are your new tag team champions. Expect this to probably be a future Mania match. It is just absolutely, insane and crazy.
It is. Jeez.
The Rhea and Jade saga continues. Rhea got beat up this time by Jade, BFAB, and Michin.
The ladies are rumbling.
The ladies are still rumbling. But on SmackDown, we have to see what the fallout's going to be of Randy Orton getting involved with Jelly Roll. The brawl between Orton and Cody Rhodes just got out of control. Jelly Roll, who's a friend of both of them, came into the ring, tried to talk some sense into both of them. You've got multiple people holding everybody back. And Jelly Roll's speaking to both. He's trying to talk some sense into him. He's wearing that new Tennessee hat, logo. But you gotta keep your eyes on the back of your head because Randy Orton,
that don't look good. Oh,
he RKO's Jelly Roll. Good old Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll
to the Viper, and there's going to be some fallout for this on Friday night. So we gotta be on the lookout for that. And then we'll get into the matches next week for WrestleMania. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of new ones. An 8-woman tag team match between Nia Jax and Flash Legend, the Bellas, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria. The mess between them, they can't finish a match, so they're just going to put them all together. His title in a ladder match. Seth Rollins and Gunther had a beef on Monday night. They're going to be going at it also. The match between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu is an unsanctioned match.
What is going on, Dizzy?
We just got to wrap this show up because if not, I'm going to put you through a table.
Dizzy, no, you're not. There's too much wrestling. It's crazy. WrestleMania is right around the corner, so I imagine this is what happens. It gets crazy and crazier as we get there. But let's get to the wrap up of the show because we're running out of time. We did have a day in history today, April 1st. In sports, this was the day that the Duke Blue Devils in 1991 defeated Kansas Jayhawks 72-65. Everyone will remember the most outstanding player, Christian Laettner, with his performance, and this victory marked the start of a legendary back-to-back title run for Duke, except for this year. Anyways, that was history today. I'm just saying. But look. Let's wrap it up. Dizzy, you're looking dapper. You got places to go. Look, don't come for me. Don't come for me, dude.
That was mean.
Talk to the boozers. Okay. Get ready to watch the Final Four. Hey, everybody, get ready to watch the Final Four this weekend. And next week's show, we'll know who from the men's and the women's won the championship. All right.
Go Lady Bruins.
Who?
Go Lady Bruins.
Go Lady Bruins. I wish them luck. Thank you, Dizzy. Thank you, Dr. Lawanda. It's been a blast. Thank you to our viewers. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, share with your other sport buds. Leave us comments. Let's get to know each other, all right? Tell us who you think is going to win March Madness. It's really anyone's game at this point, but for sure we will be talking all about it next week on next week's show, because that's what we do on They Be Talkin. All right? So till next time, peace.
They be talking.